Hello everyone, I'm Alan, also known as McLaren 2009, and today I'm playing Derail Valley. Off to a rocky start. Alright. Okay, let's put this down here. Sorry about that, they recently updated the OVR toolkit thing, and I haven't really gotten too much practice with it yet. Let's look for something that sounds like fun. It's going to be a bit of a hike. And no matter how you slice it, it's going to be rough. So maybe not that one. Food factory, food factory. City Southwest might be the best option. Okay. Okay, I'll pause that. Alright, these ones are good. Like Machine Factory and City Southwest. This one's extremely light. But, you know, if we're going to the Machine Factory, another good place to look would definitely be the military base. Alright, nothing going on in there. Gonna need a second locomotive. I mean, we don't need a second locomotive, but it's certainly nice to have. Now that's depressing. The only thing going is... Alright, change of plans. We're just going to go to the military base. We're not even going to bother with the machine factory. We're going to haul nuclear fuel today. And between these, those are both 500 tons, and that's another 100 tons. Alright. Let's get some locomotives. Alright, now I have this one over here, which is the one I've kind of been running with this whole time. So definitely going to keep this one. Put that right there. Get out my remote. Okay. Better leave that applied since we're just sitting here. Alright. We have electricity. Let's go out here. Fire up the engine. No, wait, no. What am I doing with my life? Okay. Realistically, it's gonna take a second because we have to get air pressure. Even though we only have a single locomotive, we need air. Okay. Alright, and while that's moving... You know, it's kind of funny. I was talking about how I don't normally do, like, the dashing, like, teleporting very often, but then here I am, like, sprinting across the map. It comes and goes. Alright, now, we need another locomotive, because both of those are heavy. And we're going up north. So we have a shunter, steam locomotive, we have 77, and 81. Well, since that other one is 76, it would only make sense to have 77. Kind of funny, even though this isn't the most popular game for me to stream, for some reason or another, people seem to like watching the videos of this one. Be it watching the VOD on Twitch, or watching it when I send it over to YouTube. People seem to like this series, or people seem to like when I play this one. It's fine. Alright, we need to build up air pressure. I think it's probably best to just keep this on the, keep it facing forward. Might have it on the, short hood end. Wait, no. No. You stop. Using the remote's not dangerous. There's no way you could possibly mix up the throttle and the independent brake. That doesn't even make sense. Said with absolute confidence. Okay, we are not past the switch. Or at least not completely. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to haul some pretty dangerous cargo today. Hauling spent nuclear fuel. Let's set the independent real quick, put that into neutral, and let's go bring out our second locomotive. We're going to have them both facing the same direction today. It sort of matters. At least this way there's no, like, confusion about it. Like, when you hit the switch in one of the locomotives, it doesn't have to flip it around for this one. Now, the thing is that since I'm running up to the military base, yeah, it's like since I'm going up to the military base, it's gonna take some fuel to get up there. So another thing that I could do is it would be such a pain to do it, but I can get the nuclear flasks because those are going to be heavy, and then I can look for something. Slight love tap, but it'll be fine. I could look for something else going north, preferably to the steel mill or the goods factory, or even both, honestly. Okay. All right. Matter of fact, let's go double check that. Because honestly, if there are a couple of things going up that way, a good option would be to tack on a third locomotive. But the problem with doing that is that the military base does not have a service track of any kind. I don't want to listen to that beeping at me, so... Alright, Oil Well Central. Could have sworn there was one going to Oil Well North. Goods Factory. Shunting. City Southwest. Alright. Let's get rid of all of those. Okay. Alright, this is going to the steel mill. That's a good one. Alright, we're not going that way. We are going that way. Alright. It would be great if there was like an organizational system. We're not going that way. We are going that way. And oh no, they're going to Central. Food Factory, City Southwest. Ooh, Steel Mill. Payout's kind of disappointing, but those two sets of nuclear flasks are worth 150 grand each, and that would more than pay for using 3 locomotives and having to service them with the caboose or at the station office. mean, I might not even need 3, but... Alright, let's just do it this way. Nah, I think I'll just do the nuclear flasks for now. That seems like a pretty reasonable way to go about it. Let me check on some settings real quick. Okay. I might be able to hear it now. Alright. Let's run over and get our locomotives. Because I don't want to take the time to set up the third one. So we're going to take the nuclear flasks and probably the flatbeds. Yeah, and we're just going to run those up to the military base, and that'll be it. And I could probably get some more questionable stuff from the military base, and then we'll bring that down. Quick, knock off the independent. Alright, let's get this party started. So, we're going to take our DE6s over here, run them around the Y, back them up towards the military base. And don't need to keep it going that fast. Say that fast, but we're going like 13 kilometers an hour. That is not fast in the slightest. Alright, but they're gonna get stopped over there anyway. So, we're going to grab both nuclear flasks. It doesn't really matter which one's which, because I've been to the military base. There's only one inbound track. And these are just normal flat cars. Also going to the military base. That matters is that the logistics hall is at the back. Alright. So, overshot the switch by a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. Alright, so, all up. Release the independent, and we're rolling back. Except there's a little bit of a catch. See, somewhere around here, there is some kind of an invisible barrier that will cause the locomotives to either slow down or split entirely. And you actually could literally watch it happen right there. going like 13, went down to like 8, now we're back up to 10, and I haven't touched the throttle. Alright, so track is currently aligned to go that way. Alright. Let's grab this one first. Alright, that's B5. That one. That's B8. Okay, so which way are we aligned starting out? Alright, we're going this way. Alright, let's get the one at 8 first. Why are they going forward? Yeah, there's another one of those invisible walls right there by that switch. And they'll hit it, bounce off, and start rolling forward. It's kind of weird, kind of annoying, but it is what it is. The update can't get here fast enough. Alright, let's get off of the track so we don't get run over by our own train. And as far as the logistics hall, it was the only logistics hall? Okay, good. It's this cut of cars, because that cut of cars is going to the manufacturing town. Or machine factory. Let's really learn where those destinations are. It would be very beneficial. LH01. And it's the last one is CXF690. That's this one. Alright, so yeah. Everything's right in the world. Alright, so we're going to back up our locomotives over here to this set of nuclear flasks. Being able to handle hazmat in real life, radioactive things are the only type of material that I cannot touch. And that's only because to be cleared to handle radioactive materials, you need specific radiation training. I do not have radiation training, but any other kind of hazmat I can handle. But in real life, this is the one type of cargo that I cannot interact with. But those job opportunities don't come up very often in real life. Alright. Now this is going to be heavy. So I don't even need to worry about hitting the brakes because I was going less than 5 miles an hour. And it's quite literally 520 tons. Alright, now we gotta get to track B5. So we gotta be 7, 6, 5, and then 4. And it actually works out because we go forward and then we back down to the storage track, pick up our flat cars, and we're good. Now, the kicker is we've got to get to... Alright, how's this set up? Alright, so we got to get past that switch. It's like that switch, and then we are lined up to pick up the flasks. Now, I'm going to realign this with the inbound track. Because I kind of want to keep it sort of organized. And more than likely, when I come back from the military base, we're going to be going down into the inbound track. Because I have this feeling that we're going to be able to get some classified cargo up at the military base. Partially apply the train brake. Kick off the train brake. Now, we didn't apply too much of the train brake, so it shouldn't have to build up too much pressure. Alright, that's going left. And that's going right. Alright. So now we just keep an eye on our speed as we back this heavy thing up. And let's take this dangerous, questionable load up north. Slow and steady. Once you have every license in the game, you pretty much have to speed everywhere, or else you're never going to get a time bonus ever again. Because I have like a negative 40% or something like that on the time deadline for the bonus. So I've just accepted that I'm just never going to get a time bonus ever again. But I'm not too upset about it, for the simple reason that the simulator update is going to have a realistic setting where it sounds like they're more or less going to reward being slow and methodical when you're doing the jobs. So I'm trying to get a little bit more used to actually coupling the cars by hand, unless something like breaks or goes horribly wrong and then I have to use the remote to recouple. But hoping I don't have to worry about that too much. Okay. And just like last time, it's 520 tons. So, it's not light. But it should not be too heavy that we can't pull it. Because in theory, each locomotive should be good for 1,000 tons. if I'm remembering the manual correctly. But the catch with that information is that is 1,000 tons on flat ground. It starts getting harder when you start going uphill. And you may not be aware of this, but there are some hills between here and the military base. Alright. Alright, a couple more cars. 071. Alright. This is the middle cut of cars. This is the start. If I'm not mistaken, being spent nuclear fuel here in the US, I want to say those would have a yellow 3 placard. And in case you're wondering what that means, there are 4 different versions of this hazmat placard. It would be listed as Hazard Class 7. There are 4 of this placard. There is White 1, which is just solid white on top, white on the bottom, 1 single red Roman numeral. Then there is Yellow 2, which is yellow on the top, white on the bottom, and a red 2 Roman numeral. And then there's Yellow 3, yellow on top, white on the bottom, red 3 Roman numeral. And then there is the Fizzle placard, which is white on the top, white on the bottom, and it says Fizzle across the center. But those wouldn't be spent fuel rods, those would be active fuel rods, and you wouldn't be transporting very many of them. Alright, is it gonna move? Maybe, maybe not. B6. Alright. So, of course, it's going to get a little spicy. In theory, I should be able to bump into the cars going 7 or 8, but honestly, I just don't want to risk it. None of these are going to explode, but it would generally be considered a good idea to exercise extreme caution when working with nuclear fuel. Well, they haven't been used, so they shouldn't have any air. The air brakes don't quite work how they're supposed to, at least not yet. But the day will come. 046 681. All right, 071. Make sure that I opened the air. Okay. Now, the way that you would check multiple trucks or multiple trailers with trucks is you would go back here and open this and see if anything comes out. Something did. So there is air going through the entire length of the train. So for all practical purposes, everything is right in the world. Now, from what I've seen from other railroad type simulators, you would have your end of train device down here, which is a little radio controlled transmitter that reads the pressure at the back of the train, and it also has the ability to open that valve remotely when you press the emergency stop switch. So now we are coupled into all of the cars that we're going to take up with us to the military base. So let's hit the horn a couple of times because, why not? Alright, and I should not have fully released the independent brake until I started rolling again. But luckily, this specific yard is flat. So we're not really rolling anywhere. It's always unsettling when you first look at the info placards and they're flashing as being damaged, and then you get closer and realize, no, it's 100 over 100. It's 100 by 100. We're good. Because you always have to ask, wait, how did I damage the car? And then you get closer and realize, oh wait, I didn't damage the car. It's perfectly fine. It's really upsetting when you play like I do, and then you're like, what in the world could I have possibly done to hurt the car? And you realize you didn't do anything to hurt the car. The car's fine. Alright. It hit that visible wall, that corner again. Alright, so I'm going to wait for the 8 flat cars to pass this switch, so we're still aligned for the inbound track. So we got everything ready for the return trip. Alright, just keeping it on notch 1 should be mostly safe-ish. It won't get too fast, not the way that we're set up yet right now. Especially not going up that 2.3% grade over there. But we're gonna slow it down anyway. Alright. Now we're back aligned properly with the inbound track. And then the next switch I have to flip is going to be this switch over here. So that if I come back this way, I'll be aligned to go into the yard. But more than likely, I'm going to come back the other way because it's a little bit easier, maybe. Or at least the last time I came back down from the military base, that was the way I came back. You come in over there on the E track, come up the main line that way. And then what you gotta do is you come back around here, pull up there, and then back into the military base. Alright. Gonna need that to speed up a little bit. It's always unsettling when you see them do that, because you think something's wrong, but that's just not the case. To be fair, this is a pretty heavy load. I would actually be kind of sad if I needed to hook up a third locomotive just to get this out of the yard. Alright, we just had to get up to notch 5, but we're rolling again. I was originally thinking I was going to hook on my caboose, but now I'm not thinking I want to risk it. Because if I summon my caboose and try to back up to it to get coupled into it, it's just gonna... we may not get rolling again. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm just not gonna risk it. Did not think this load was heavy enough to need 3 locomotives. But I guess it turns out it actually is. Oh, we're going to use so much fuel. Alright. Getting wheel slip yet. But we are accelerating, so call that progress. actually is 700 tons. Alright, now the speed limit up here is mostly 40, so I generally try to ease off on the throttle around 35. So what I try to do is throttle up enough that I see the needle going up, and then once I reach my safe speed, throttle down until I see the needle start to go down. And then once you get down to your lower safe speed, you throttle up until you start accelerating again. And lather, rinse, repeat. Now with like my other game that I tend to play a lot is Train Sim World. And they have an accelerometer, which makes understanding all of this so much easier. And nothing's going on in chat. Speed up a little bit. In actuality, I can make my I could probably do better with the speed bonuses if I didn't do everything so slowly. But in my opinion, it's better to be careful. And this is pretty much all uphill until we get around this corner right here. Then it starts going downhill. But we gotta be careful because with the load as heavy as it is, we're not going to want to come to a complete stop if we have a choice. Because as you've seen earlier, if we do come to a complete stop, it is going to be a nightmare to start again. And we've only got 20 cars at the moment. And we've got all the weight properly distributed, so all of that is good. So we don't have to worry about that causing us to derail. But there are a couple of random spots in the track that might just make you derail for reasons. And it's not even like you derail, it's just like your locomotives split apart. Like you just break the coupling mechanism. Which, even after installing and building the coupling system, I don't think I've ever heard of them like breaking. It's not like that. But with that being said, I don't have any experience with the hook and chain system that this game uses. Yeah, I don't have any experience with the hook and chain system that's in this game. I only have experience with the knuckles that you see on freight cars here in the US. Alright, still doing good on speed. Haven't heard that token pinging saying we've derailed. Alright, let's back down on the throttle a little bit. At least we're rolling pretty well now, so I hit horn. You don't want to throttle up or down too quickly, or you don't want to speed up too quickly. Like, you don't just want to go from 0 to 8. That's just a bad idea. I think on the real ones it would blow the traction motors. But traction motors aren't in the game yet. They're definitely coming, but they're not here yet. And with the traction motors, we'll also get the dynamic brake. A little bit. Even though we've passed several signs telling you that the speed limit is currently 70 kilometers an hour, I don't feel remotely safe going through there at 70. Maybe that's just me being too cautious. But I've made it all the way to the late game in this without any significant derailments or major incidents. It's always kind of funny considering the game's Derail Valley. They expect you to use questionable safety practices, go faster than you're supposed to. Fly through the yard going 100. You know, fun stuff like that. Which is also probably part of why all of the equipment is kind of rusty, old, in varying states of disrepair. This place, it's like everything in this valley is like used and abused to the point of no end. And that's kind of part of the fun of it, in my opinion. And I guess when I cleared my caboose, it just teleported it to a random piece of track I've never used before. Because you may remember from my previous stream that I had my caboose when I went up to the machine factory in town, and then after streaming for about 2.5 hours, I decided to call it a day there, and I left one of my locomotives in the roundhouse up there, cleared my caboose, and teleported back to the harbor, because I wasn't sure if I was going to get back to streaming it. And then I noticed that even though it doesn't seem like anybody really watches this when I stream it, for some reason or another, people go back and watch the videos of it. So I figured, why not? This is the game I wanted to get back to, or I wanted to start streaming with. So that's what I'm gonna do. If I'm the only channel streaming Derail Valley, it's not the end of the world. I don't foresee myself making it to being a Twitch affiliate anyway. It is a nice thought, though. But when you look at like the categories that people are following, you realize that like all of the games I would play are at like the bottom of the list of things people are going to watch. So it's just like, you know what? I'm just going to stream what I feel like playing. Between this and an American Truck Sim, there's a market for both of those, so that's just what I'm gonna do. I've got experience driving trucks in real life, so I can tell stories when I play that one, and I'm trying to work for the railroad next, so fingers crossed, I'm going to have some stories for this one in the future. And I really like this one. It's pretty much always been like my favorite VR game. It was literally the first game I got when I got my Oculus Rift. This and a submarine simulator called Iron Wolf. Those were literally my first two VR games. And they're both awesome because neither one is gonna make you sick starting out. Alright, do we need to use the automatic just yet? It would probably be a good idea to do at least initial reduction. Especially since the track is still aligned going towards the farm. So we've got to flip the switch to go into the steel mill, or go through the steel mill. And then after that, we should be completely aligned all the way to the military base. And it seems like the best way to do it is to go up here and go around that way. Because even though it's not shown here, like it just looks like a normal Y, you can kind of tell that there's no way to turn around there. So what you want to do is just pull forward past this junction right here and then back into the military base. Alright, we are going way too fast. Come on, find the switch. Alright, going right. And release that. Oh god, personally removed. Okay. Horn for good luck. Yeah, if you look on the map right here, you'll know that we are literally at the steel mill. And the speed limit says we can go 80, now we're down to 50. Why we're doing 50 into the yard? No idea. I kinda get the impression that the speed limit signs are like the safe speed before you'll fly off the cracks, and not necessarily like the operational speed that you would actually go through an industry at. Alright. Like, we're going 40 right now. Now that seems a little fast, but it's fine. I kind of like how there's only 3 places you can get military cargo. You have the harbor military base, the machine factory military base, and then you have the actual military base. Like, the very last license that I got was Military 3, which is the license you need to haul this cargo. So I was wondering if I was going to get a whole lot of use out of it prior to the simulator update coming out. But since I got back into playing it, I'm getting more use out of it than I originally thought. But we're going 2% down, so maybe accelerating is not the thing I should be doing right now. It's kind of cool that that's the place you start out in the tutorial, or at least it was with the Overhauled update, and also where you started before the Overhauled update. But what makes it interesting is, if I remember correctly, there used to be repair and servicing facilities in that little side building, but now I think they're only at the steel mill in the repair shop at the back up there. it'll be really interesting to see how the how interacting with the water is going to be. It's really cool seeing the videos of it, with the fact that there is going to be water physics. You can swim for all intents and purposes. And you can crash the crane into the water. You can drop your equipment in there. And basically it's just going to be vastly different, you know? So apparently in the future, if I'm pulling more than 1,000 tons, or if I'm pulling like 1,200 tons, maybe I should play it safe and tack on a third locomotive. Yeah, the service costs are going to be through the roof, but we won't get stuck on that hill leaving the harbor. Because getting up to, it's like getting all the way up to like notch 7 really cut into the fuel. And granted, this one has a little bit less fuel than that one because this one was running longer. But they're still pretty similar. It starts getting a little bit crazier when we get up to around here. Because like the very first time that I went up to the military base, I didn't know where the entrance was. So I think I went around this way and then came up there, only to find out that that's going to pull you in, that's going to pull you nose first into the military base. And then you're going to have to run around the cars when you drop them off. So the better option is to not go that way and go right when you get up here, and then you pull past and back in. Now this trip is going to be interesting because the flat cars for the logistics haul aren't going to the inbound track, they're going to the storage track. And that's going to really be interesting for the simple reason of the storage tracks, specifically in small industries like the military base, already have things on them, generally speaking. So more than likely we're going to have to shove something out of the way, and there's not a whole lot of space up there. It is a really small facility. That worked. Okay. No. Not going to the goods factory this time. Last time I made this trip, I did what I was talking about back in the harbor, and I picked up a load that was going to the goods factory, where I had dropped one off the steel mill, dropped one off the goods factory, and then I went up to the military base. But I didn't do that this time because I figure it might be too heavy. And then pretty much it was almost too heavy. And all I got is 3 loads. Granted, 2 of them are pretty big. And then a logistics haul. Climb a mountain. Alright, so up here in this area, the only place you can work on a diesel locomotive would be to come all the way down to the oil well north or go over to the food factory. Because we are going up. 1.4% up. Now, what I could do is, if I don't have anything exciting coming out of the military base, I could go up here to the iron mine and see what we've got up there. And that'll probably be going back to the steel mill. That would be pretty cool. Engine temp. It's always interesting when you look at the tachometer for like really heavy vehicles, because they have comparatively few RPMs. Like, we're going just over 600 RPM. Whereas, like, a smaller engine would be turning a lot faster. The speed that these are turning, they're doing a lot more work, I guess, would be one way to say it. Be for the best that we didn't pick up any other loads, because we haven't even gotten to the hard part yet and we're already down to almost half a tank. This specific load might be hard for 2 locomotives. We'll find out soon enough if I regret not hooking up the 3rd one. Oh. Well, I'll tell you one thing we're about to regret. Flying off the tracks with radiated cargo. Pressure is built back up. that's probably going to come back to bite me. Because using the brake on a hill causes our problems to just expand. And now we're going to have a problem accelerating and maintaining speed. And once again, we're going uphill. So let's throttle up and hope it doesn't get too crazy. Even though it's quite literally going to be an uphill battle. Horn for good luck. Alright. We are accelerating. We are pushing these locomotives to their limit, but we are accelerating. Could have used the sand, but I don't know if that would be a good idea. It's weird because it's not even a single percent up. Oh, that's not good. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to find out the fun way if I regret not getting that third locomotive. Because it's really looking like we're going to need it. So it's only 40 going up here. Of course, it's 30 going that way. Okay. And it's 2% up, 1.6% up. This part gets a little rough. Okay. Temporarily lost my... couldn't see anything for a second there. Okay. I can see again. But we're slowing down. And that is not a good sign with what we're carrying. Yeah, this is like the load from hell. It's only 40, but can we do 40? Alright, we are starting to accelerate again, so back off a little bit. Brake. Release. Brake again. That sign back there said we came over the crest of a hill. So I guess we're going downhill now. Don't like rushing through the mountains over here. Alright, let's speed up a little bit. It's actually pretty far away. Okay, we gotta speed up. Oh, we might not be able to do it. Our speed may have fallen too far. Alright, just gotta push a little bit harder. Yeah, this is only like a 2% grade. Alright, and that sign I think means we're cresting a hill. Which means we're going to start going downhill past this sign maybe. I'm starting to think the temperature gauge doesn't do anything, because it hasn't moved. And I've been pushing this engine pretty hard. The real question is, are we going to have enough diesel to even get to the military base? Alright, we're going 30. Let's ease off on the throttle a little bit. Starting to shallow out. And then it gets worse. Are we strong enough to make this climb? Because it's gonna start getting a little bit worse right around this corner. going up into this kind of like horseshoe just before we get to the home stretch going to the military base. And the last time I went up here, instead of coming back the way that I came, I instead decide to go this way and then come in by the E-track over here at the harbor. And that was just the way that I got there last time. And let's get through these turns. Alright, speed limit's 30, so let's back off on the throttle a little bit. But we're still climbing, so we don't want to kill the throttle completely. We just want to let gravity kind of slow us down. We're already under the speed limit. So we want to let gravity pull us back a little bit. Alright, now we go into this horseshoe. And then right there is the military base. It'll probably be an adventure for another day, but I might go in and start switching around the cars at the military base, like get this fuel unloaded. Oh, and now it's gonna get really bad. It was like 2.3 coming out of the harbor. It's 3 going around this corner. So if there was ever a time that we were going to die and run out of fuel, it's on this trip. See, the last time I made this crazy journey, I stopped and got fuel at the goods factory. So I was making this climb with a full tank. But I did not do that this time. So we're carrying this crazy load up a 3% grade with a little over a third a tank of diesel in 2 locomotives. It's a good thing each one of those, or both of those fuel loads are worth 150 grand each, because if that weren't the case, this is going to be a very expensive servicing bill. And then it always tells you, like, you can save money by manually servicing the locomotive. And then it's like, where am I going to do that? I'm not anywhere near diesel service. Alright, yeah, that right there is a long bridge before you get to the gate to the military base. We are barely making this climb. I absolutely should have grabbed a third locomotive. It would have made my life so much easier. And I probably would not have burned so much fuel just getting here. Alright, but the good news is we're almost on the home stretch, so all we gotta do is just back these things into the military base and call it a day. All we gotta do is push to that junction right there. Alright, let's back down the throttle a little bit. That right there. Turn this on. And let's do the horribly unsafe thing and get out of the locomotive. Going 25 kilometers an hour. Basically what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to get off right here. And we need to wait for all of the cars to pass this switch. And no pressure. I just wish there was more area to stand over here. Like, the ballast isn't really like a physical thing right here. As you can see, there's kind of like a hull. And right here, I am not standing on the ballast, I'm standing on the hill underneath the ballast, which is slightly unnerving, to say the least. Alright, let's kill the throttle. And hope I've got enough speed. I don't. Is this the last car? It is, but can we make it? That's gonna wheel slip. Alright, you can do it. Just a little farther. Literally feet. Alright. Okay. At the speed we're going down, let's set up the automatic brake. Now what we can do is turn this down a little bit. I don't want to turn it off for the simple fact that if I turn off the train brake completely, it's going to start to speed up. And then we'll be flying into the yard going like 35, which is technically under the permitted safe speed. But it's over my perceived safe speed. Alright, let's get lined up with logistics hull B6S. 4, 5, 6. Oh, actually, we're in luck. There is nothing on the on the storage track. Yeah. All right, we're safe. All right, let's get back over to my train. Okay, I guess we gotta turn it off entirely. Yes, my train is not moving. Matter of fact, it might be best to just ride it in. Alright, let's get up here. And we're already going. Doesn't take much to get this thing rolling. Alright, let it build back up a little bit. Just open it up a little bit. Yeah, I say it like every time, but I gotta enjoy the ability to work these locomotives with the remote while I can. It won't be an option for much longer. Word is 1:45. Alright, let's hit that a little bit harder. You can increase the automatic brake, but you can't decrease it without resetting it entirely, without turning it off completely and rebuilding your air pressure. Okay. Alright, let's knock that off real quick. The good news is this has all been downhill, so we're only idling the engine. Yeah, see, according to that, we can go 50 through here. I don't know about any of you, but I would not go 50 through here. I mean, converting to miles per hour, it's only like 35. So it's not too insane. But That's still pretty fast for a yard. And it's even funnier because once you get past this ladder section over here, inside of the bunker back there is no space at all. Like, you can barely fit one of these single cuts of cars onto the loading track. So it makes switching cars here a bit of a mess. Alright, let's go back over here. And once the last flat car is past this sign, we'll run over and go turn in the logistics mission. And it looks like we have one load of questionable cargo, at least one anyway. So I might have something to do for the next stream. Alright. Give that a second to propagate. Alright, let's find out if that's far enough. Alright, logistics. B6S. Oh boy. It's a mess. Alright. 13,000. About 14,000. And it only took me 83 minutes to get here. Alright. Alright, let's unhook this one. Let's go uphill with the heavy load. Okay, let's get over here. Alright, now this should be the one going to the main. Alright, let's kill the throttle. Alright. Let's back this thing up. Oh no, there are lots of trains of questionable cargo. Let's see if that actually is what it is. Classified, biohazard. Yep. This is like some Umbrella Corp, like we're carrying a plague sort of thing. Carrying like the T-virus to the harbor. Wouldn't that make it fun? Alright, I need to switch to this one. Yep. No. Put that in there, put that up there. is that way I have the cars, I actually split the cars like I'm supposed to. Because originally I had the idea that the first time I made one of these deliveries that I was going to hook up all of the cars or all of the loaded cars that I brought in on the inbound track here. I was going to couple them back together and push them to the unload track, only to find out that that doesn't work. You have to unload one train at a time because that's all that will fit on that track. It's a mess. Alrighty. Let's hit the train brake. Set the independent, release the train brake, and set it to go forward. Alright, let's cut these first. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, 0, 7, 1. So this should be 6, 8, 1. Alright, cut right here. Alright. Alright, let's get these back out here. And we'll get past this. Actually, we'll turn these in first. There's 1. There's 2. 153,000. And 90 minutes each. Okay. No, not that. Matter of fact, let's set that all the way there. And let's get these turned off. Alright. Let's hit the breaker. And just out of curiosity, what are we looking at on fuel? Not quite bingo fuel, but pretty close. I'm pretty sure the emergency cutoff should be on the wall. I think that's where the alerter button goes. Alright. Now let's get these taken care of. So, I made over $300,000 making these deliveries. And it's going to cost $69,000. Alright, we still got $860,000. God damn looking bad. Let's see if this works. Alright, pull that back. Alright, well, this has been Derail Valley, and this seems like a pretty good stopping place at about 2 hours. So yeah, this has been Derail Valley. Thank you all for watching, and have a nice day.